How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look and doing an overview of this Strike Industries mass driver compensator for Glocks. And first things first, let's clear the gun. So nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber, ready to go. Okay. So Strike Industries, this is a compensator for Glocks, and you know, it's got a sleek look. It's kind of heavy on the front, you know. So it could be my interpretation of this. You know, I could be wrong. I'm not quite sure, but you know, Strike Industries decided to come up with this design because there are certain jurisdictions, certain states that do not allow for threaded barrels on pistols. You know, because they have assault weapons bans, just like the ones we have here in California. And so one of the components that makes a pistol an assault weapon, whatever, it's a threaded barrel. So what does Strike Industries do? Let me take it apart so you guys can see real quick what they did. Again, oops. All right. So what they did is, in order to be able to have this and still be able to function, is they came up with a way to be able to attach the compensator to the guy rod and the recoil spring. So it's actually one long piece, right? Your guy rod and your recoil spring, they're longer than the standard OEM or even aftermarket parts that you can find. So it's longer in order to be able to attach right here to the front. Now obviously I already have it installed, you know, put the Loctite, so I don't want to take it apart because it's not too much of a pain, but I don't want to be taking it apart, putting it together. But basically what it does, it replaces your guy rod and your OEM recoil spring. How it's going to work is you're going to be taking the guy rod, you're going to be putting the recoil spring, you're going to compress it and then slide it in. Right before you slide it in though, it has a little kind of a washer right here that allows the lockup to happen so that, you know, it doesn't move around too much. So you put it right here, this little piece right here. We'll do a little tabletop so you guys can take a closer look. Alright guys, so got the gun, got in the chamber. Check it out. Alright, so this is what I was telling you guys. So there's a guy rod. It's a little bit longer than the OEM, or you know, some other of the aftermarket parts. So again, this is gonna replace your OEM guy rod as well as the recoil spring. There's gonna be longer because it has to go all the way out here to be able to be locked in with this nut right here. There's also a spring in here, which is what allows this to be doing this right now. Obviously it has to do with that too, but yeah. So it's a closer look at the mass driver. You know, there it is. Pretty aggressive look. I don't know, I like it. You know, as I mentioned before in my videos, I like Strike Industries designs. But yeah, it is kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest, to be cleaning this gun. Granted, I've only had 100 rounds on it, but I can already see that it's gonna be a pain in the ass trying to clean it. I did see a video though, small little hack, where the guy was like pushing this all the way in and then just kind of, you know, sticking his finger right here on the bottom of the on the barrel, pushing forward a little bit, and as you're compressing the guy rod with the recoil spring, then he was able to get the barrel out and be able to clean it without having to disassemble everything out of the gun. But yeah, I think the Gen 4 has a little has something else that goes on the back, but that's only for the Gen 4 models. I don't know exactly what it is. You know, I don't have a Gen 4. I live in California. We're not allowed to have those unless it's off-roster guns. So for those that know what the pain is, yep, gotta pay about 100 to 200% of MSRP. So, there we go. So there we go. All right. good to go. You guys can see this is a Glock 22 chamber and 40 Smith & Wesson. The mass driver compensator is advertised to only fit Glock 17s and Glock 19s. So they have two models for this, or two sizes rather. They have the standard size, which is for the Glock 17, or they have the compact, which is for the Glock 19, and they also make it for the Gen 3, Gen 4, and Gen 5 Glocks. I had been bugging the crap out of Strike Industries on Instagram, and you know, just asking them like, hey, every time they would advertise the mass driver, I would ask them like, hey, you know, when are you guys coming out with the version for the Glock 22 or the Glock 23? And they would just keep on telling me that, hey, yeah, you know, we don't have any plans yet. We don't have any plans yet. You know, it's in the works, or, you know, we're looking into it. Finally, one of the representatives, they said, you know, I don't know if you want to give this a try, but we've had other people try it out with their Glock 22s. The bore, the hole on the bore, you know, it's big enough for a 40 Smith & Wesson round. So if you want to give it a try, go ahead. We have had customers saying that it's kind of a 50-50 chance on, you know, having malfunctions or not. So they just say, you know, if you want to give it a go, you're more than welcome. But obviously, you know, they're not going to be held liable for that because that's not what it's been advertised as. So I said, okay, thank you, you know, I appreciate it. So I went down to my local FFL, and I know that they had them in stock. So I went down there, talked to the guys, great guys over in Rifle Supply in Huntington Beach. Great FFL if you're in Orange County. But yeah, I just went down there, and you know, I was talking to the guy. You know, I told him, you know, hey, I talked to Strike Industries, and they told me that the mass driver for the Glock 17 should be able to fit the Glock 22, and that the hole is big enough for the round to go out. The guy was super helpful. He actually took a Glock 22 that they had in there, and you know, showed me like, hey, you know, look at it, you know, for yourself. The hole is big enough. You know, it goes over the barrel pretty well. So you know, I don't see why it wouldn't work, especially if Strike Industries is telling you. So I went ahead and gave it a go. You know, I just took it and I bought it. I got this for about, I think it was $110 that they had it, plus tax. And so I bought it, you know, I took it, brought it home, installed it, took it out to the range. Part of the reason why I bought it, well, obviously because I have a Glock 22, and you know, I've been looking at getting into a Glock 19 or a Glock 17, but you know, I just decided to get it for the Glock 22 for now. So I went ahead and got it, came in, installed it, the whole shebang. I took it out to the range, and especially, you know, if you've shot a 40 Smith & Wesson, the recoil for this 40 Smith & Wesson is pretty snappy, and it doesn't quite feel like a 45, because the 45 is just lower round. You know, when you're shooting in the recoil, yeah, you can feel it, but it's like, it's just different, right? So with the 40, it's pretty snappy. And and then on top of that, you know, I wasn't sure if the mass driver was going to be able to work with the Glock 22, so I went ahead and gave it a shot, and I show you guys right now in the video. Really works. You know, I shot it, and I was very surprised that the mass driver actually helped out, you know, with the snappiness of the 40 Smith & Wesson round. It is weird. It does feel weird when you're shooting it. I'm not gonna lie. It does get some getting used to, but you know, for what it does and the functionality that it does, you know, it's good. Now, granted, you know, I'm just doing an overview right now because I only ran 100 rounds through it right now, so far. I've had quite a hard time trying to find a 40 Smith & Wesson around my area. And if I find it, it's like super expensive. It's like $40 for a box of 50 rounds. So that's part of the reason why I'm kind of, you know, on the fence about doing more. at this time, you know, especially because all the ammo is got out of my pocket. So I do want to put some more rounds through it. I'm probably gonna take it out to the range if I can this weekend, the week after that. But I do want to plan it on taking it out, taking more shots, trying to see how it works. Another thing that I noticed on YouTube is that for holsters, if the holster it is open-ended, especially on the muzzle part, you know, and it's capable of compatible and, you know, taking compensators, it would work. However, with the other compensators, you know, they're threaded to the barrel, so that's one thing to consider. This one is not threaded to the barrel. This one is it's connected to the guy rod. So, you know, it might get caught, and, you know, the other compensators, they don't do this, so be aware of that. I tried it with the what's the name of the holster? We did people's holster for the Glock 22, and I was just dry firing and trying to see some draws, you know, trying to practice. I didn't have too much of an issue. I did have it like 2 or 3 times when I, you know, drew from the holster, where it did get a little bit stuck. It didn't like completely get stuck where I couldn't get the gun out, but something to consider again is because of, you know, that extra spring that it's right there. So be aware of that, you know, be mindful of that. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys this overview on this, because obviously Strike Industries mass driver compensator is advertised for Glock 17s and Glock 19s. So after I did the shooting, and, you know, I kind of reported back to Strike Industries on Instagram, I was like, hey, you know, thank you for the input. I tried it out. I didn't have any issues with reliability. Everything cycled, no fitting issues. So it worked great. And they said that they might talk to corporate and maybe incorporated as, you know, being compatible with Glock 22s and Glock 23s going forward. So, you know, if you guys, you know, have that on your radar to get one, you know, be aware of that it does work. I haven't had any issues. Again, it's only been 100 rounds, so, you know, don't take my word for it. You know, if you want to give it a try, go ahead. But I just wanted to let you guys know that it does work. And I do plan on doing a little bit more review once I get more rounds on 40 Smith & Wesson. Hopefully soon. Hopefully I'm able to find some ammo that is a little bit cheaper for the 40 Smith & Wesson. But again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, you know, hit the bell button. If you have any comments, any questions related to the mass driver and the functionality, drop a comment down below. Thank you and have a good day.